Hello tribe, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing musical messages and something to keep in mind for you before we start. Some of these stories that I will be picking up might be people who have already gone through situations like this. Some people might be still going through that, so make sure to use discernment to see how the messages tie into your life right now. And let's get into it. Pile number 1 is on your left, pile number 3 is on your right. Choose your musical note and I'll see you in timestamps. Hello group number 1. Let's see what we have for you when it comes to lyrics. We have Shy Girls under attack. Cause your lips under attack, girl, you got it bad under attack. So we'll burn down all the bridges. I feel like for this group number 1, I will be pulling more cards to see what this is talking about. But overall, I'm being drawn to a situation where I'm seeing two people who are kind of new to a relationship. They are beginning a relationship. So some of you might be encountering this in the future. Some of you have encountered this already, and we're talking about a past memory. We will see why. There is a person that is being shown here in your reading that's coming up who dearly loves your lips or one facial feature. You will know who this is because they already commented on that, I am sure. It doesn't have to be necessarily lips, it could be eyes, and they would keep mentioning about that. There is an individual who's being shown to me who wants to make this relationship happen, whatever the price. This is an individual who is very determined. And I'm getting this kind of nostalgic energy here. A very nostalgic vibe. There is strong also chemistry happening between two people, but one person seems to be, it's gonna sound weird, much more intense than the other. The other is more taken back by the attention that they are receiving from this other individual. There is a feeling that as if I am going to be cautious with you because things are happening very quickly, especially when we're talking about physical intimacy or when we're talking about touch. Maybe one of these individuals needs a bit more time in order, for example, it can be as, simple as holding hands, getting used to the person. Someone needs a little bit more time, but the other person is very mesmerized by someone that they have a hard time to keep their eyes and hands off of them. But mostly what I'm getting here for pile number 1, your card is saying, why? Ask yourself a question if that's something that you've experienced already or you are experiencing now. Why do you feel like your body wants to push back, or why do you feel like there is some sort of resistance when it comes to one particular person, if any at all? Because your body is communicating with you. Your mind may not make sense of it just at that time, but your body is communicating with you. Either that resistance that you're feeling or fear that you're feeling is connected to past trauma of some sorts, or your body is giving you hints that I do not trust this situation. There are two groups of people here in pile number 1. If you haven't encountered this just yet, be open-minded. Tune in, see how this feels like. Is it something that might be coming up in the future for you to look at, for you to experience? But my attention is being drawn to the body. Why is my body feeling stiff or resistant? Is there something that I still haven't resolved due to my past experiences where I shut down at some point, or I actually internally do not trust the person that I am looking at or I am interacting with, and my body is giving me hints. My mind does not have any factual information, but my body feels very resistant. Let's pull more messages and let's see. Pile number 1. We have skinny living, let me in. I know where you are because I've been there before. And we also have usher papers. I'm ready to sign them papers. We're being shown a relationship between two people that is somehow affected by someone's past. Someone doesn't want to let the other person in. Someone feels maybe resistant due to what they had to experience in the past, and maybe some people watching this pile are divorced, and someone feels like they do not want to make the same mistake, or they do not want to experience what they have experienced in the past, and it wasn't very pleasant. So there was this other individual who is like, let's burn down all the bridges. I know where you are because I've been there before. I have experienced something similar to you, maybe not on that scale, but I can relate to how you feel due to the past separation. Now, the other group of people, what is being shown here, you are healing from, or your cards are urging you to look at healing from the past separation. It doesn't necessarily have to be divorce, but a long-term commitment that you had to end. And now is a phase when you're slowly opening up for a new relationship. You're slowly opening up your heart. And that would be an advice for pile number 1. Let's slowly look at what it is that feels like a resistance for us. Like, why are we feeling rigid? Why we have built walls up? Do you need more time? If that's the case, take all the time you need. But it feels like we are opening our hearts in pile number 1 in order to meet someone new. You might be even dealing with an individual who has built walls up and they don't want to let you in. And to be honest here, it's all up to the other person. We cannot knock the walls down for that person. They have to start taking one brick at a time off of that wall in order to see what they're dealing with or what they can experience with the other person if they do not have this facade, this wall built up in front of them. So whoever is the person who is protecting themselves from a relationship or feels scared to get into a new relationship, this is the person who has to take the time to resolve the past issues. Maybe they have lost someone and now they're afraid to lose someone new. Maybe they have gone for a really difficult separation or divorce and now they have to take that time to deal with it themselves. We cannot, your cards are saying, push ourselves onto someone else if someone is not ready. So give it a rest. Or take the time you need in order to resolve the issues that you have within yourself. What you can expect happening in the future. With this song was actually written for people who are suffering from mental issues, suffering from anxiety, from depression, and all of that. When you listen, if you listen to the song by Jacob Lee, it's actually a very upbeat and fun song, and that was his intention. But I really like the lyrics in it because as if he's given advice to the people who are suffering from low mental state, I'd say. I do not want to label it as one thing, just a low mental state that they're in. He gives advice, but at the end he goes, but never mind, just know that we're walking with you. Just know that there is support around you, that you are not alone. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying, because as if he doesn't want to put too much pressure on those people. Now, the way that I'm seeing this message for you in your future cards is that you may expect your emotional or mental well-being progress, and I'm seeing progress. You are not struggling with what you have been struggling in the past. You are feeling much more uplifted. Breathe another breath and feel as walk with you as you walk alone. There is a mistake, I need to correct this. As you walk alone. Let me do it now because I keep saying this and I keep forgetting. There is this time that is being shown to us that will be taken by someone in order to focus on their own life before they get into a new relationship. It feels like the focus has to be on my emotional or mental state. I need to rejuvenate. I need to take care of things that I need to take care of in my own life. And I need to breathe in and breathe out. Maybe some of you are going to do some sort of healing. It can include breath work. It doesn't have to. It's just as straightforward in this song. But there is like a healing chapter of someone's life that is being shown as a very important chapter that is opening someone's heart up again in order to experience love. Now, this could also talk about difficulties that someone has faced in their childhood. Someone wasn't loved, someone was abandoned, someone felt like they were not wanted. This is being highlighted in pile number 1 very much, but more so the benefit of facing that, the benefit of acknowledgement, and how this can change someone's life around if they dare to look. Okay. What can you expect happening in the future? Ah, nice. Okay, that's cute. You have a new friendship coming in, as straightforward as it can be. Be ready, your cards are saying. Be ready. I feel like you're opening up to someone. This friendship may lead to something more, but first, it's really important to focus on friendships here for pile number 1. Expect new people walking into your life. And the feeling that I have here when I'm reading these cards is as if I finally can breathe again, because I see that I can trust this person or these people who are around me, who I've chosen to spend time with, and I'm looking at those difficult past experiences as a distant memory that does not even resonate with me anymore. So that's what I have for pile number 1. I hope this made sense. If you need extra content, find me on Patreon. And all the links are down below. Have a beautiful week. Until the next time. Hello, group number 2 people. Let's see what we have for you. Now, something to keep in mind, we might be talking about a past experience that is coming up for a reason here today. We might be talking about someone dealing with the situation right now or something that you might encounter in the future. We'll see how this ties in. Just be discerning in this reading. I will be reading messages from music. Let's get into it. We have K-Pro. Tonight, if you want to, you can give it a listen to one of these songs. Come on, let me kiss that. Oh, I know you miss that. This is the vibe of a tease. I feel like someone is encountering or has encountered a person who kept them on... who has given them crumbs. There is a situation that is being shown to me where someone is a big tease, maybe even a bit of a player, and they are a very smooth talker. Someone knows how to communicate with the other person in order to keep them hooked or in order for them to keep coming back for more. Let's pull more cards and let's see what else we get in here. Come on, let me kiss that. Oh, I know you miss that. There is a strong also sexual tension here between two people. We have Black Atlas, Haunted Paradise. The weather so warm in the sky at night, singing, oh, I don't wanna go home. What's being highlighted here is a memory or a situation where two people have spent beautiful time together. I feel like it has lasted. If you've met daytime, you probably went home nighttime for sure, or when the sun has risen. I'm seeing two people spending an unexpectedly long time together. Like, say you go out with someone and you think you're gonna spend like 4 hours together, and you end up spending 10. And there's a lot of flirtation happening here between these two people. I don't know who's the bigger flirt here, but one person in particular loves to flirt. There is also a situation, wow, being shown to me where there is a very nice setting that two people are spending time at. It feels very cozy. It feels like it's evening time. It feels like even the temperature feels perfect, where two people meet, and it does feel like it's a new encounter, or the situation happened at the beginning stages of this connection. I'm also seeing two people spending time by the water, or having drinks, or maybe both. I don't know if someone expressed themselves. Someone might have been thinking at the time when these two people met or will be meeting, they will be thinking about, it's like they evaluating the situation. Can I make a move now? Or should I make a move? Or am I supposed to make a move at all? Someone doesn't want to ruin the vibe by doing something. Someone is very careful in how they act in this situation. And someone has said, it feels like, I don't want to go home, or hey, don't go home just yet. There's a long conversation that is being shown to me here, but at the same time I'm seeing people dancing. So for some of you it's going to be different. Either there's going to be a night where two people are dancing or meeting on the dance floor, or two people literally just chilling, sitting down and having a very long conversation or discussion. It feels like on life overall. Okay. Cleansing space from other energies. Now, I have random messages in this, and I feel like for some of you, what this means, someone has taken over during maybe this time, or will be taking over someone else's issues or someone else's energy. So make sure that you have strong spiritual boundaries, or boundaries all together when communicating with a person. Again, as I said before, this might be a past situation that I'm talking about. This might be a future situation you might be encountering. But it's very important to know where you stand when you communicate with someone else. And if you feel like you came back home, for example, if you were out and about, or if you will be out and about, and if you feel a little bit overwhelmed, or next morning you wake up and you feel a bit heavy, do a bit of spiritual cleansing. A lot of times this is not really talked about much, but I think maybe I should make a video on that. A lot of times when we are out and about, especially when you see people drink quite a lot, but there is a difference to drinking a lot and being able to have control over the self. And you see sometimes people who completely let go, like they surrender to the influence of a substance. It's a very dangerous place to be, because if you placed a UV light for the spirits to be seen in a nightclub, in a bar, you'd see how many lost spirits are circling around people who don't have any boundaries or who have completely surrendered to the substance. And that's how we bring back home attachments. So if you felt this way, this is your advice already. Do a bit of cleansing, sit down, meditate, get into trance, whatever way you feel is necessary to do that. Sage is not going to be helpful much. Sage is just kind of clear your home, it's a very surface level cleansing tool. This requires someone to go into meditation or into trance and visualize and see, pick up their auric field and see if any of these spots feels darker in the auric field and if anything feels heavier than usual, and do cleansing and releasement that way. Some of you may have felt or will be feeling that the person that you're communicating with maybe someone who's able to pick up energies from others. One of these people is very susceptible, is very sensitive to other people's energies, other people's emotions, and as if they can even see through them. So whoever this person is, this is someone who's supposed to be a little bit more cautious, a bit more grounded, a bit more aware of what they're doing and who they're doing it with. But not paranoid. A lot of times people get paranoid, so that's why a lot of people don't talk about important information like that, how we can get an attachment hanging around people somewhere in the bar if we lose control completely and we're already in a low emotional or energetic state. As long as this is not blown out of proportion, you got the message. Okay, let's see. Pile number 2. What do you need to hear? We have time to make big changes. Don't drag time. It feels like you're being shown that changes are necessary in your relationships overall. Maybe you have acknowledged this already and you are making changes in your behavior patterns, in what you allow to happen, in what kind of partners or friendships that you choose in your life. It feels like someone is saying, I don't have any more time, I don't want to waste more time, I want this. That is my value, that's my morals, and I stick by them. Or I do not want to hang with people who are only going to be there for a short period of time. And I'm able to see that straight away. Who is there to walk with me for a couple of days or nights? Or who is there to walk with me long term? So I'm being shown someone who's becoming much more discerning, who they spend time with, who they share their energy with, and they're becoming much more observant. What can you expect in the future? What you can expect encountering in the future? We have Flora Cash, they own this town. Maybe that's why we get no ground. I feel like I want one more. I feel like I know. Okay. Flora Cash, they own this town. Maybe that's why we get no ground. It's a vibe that I'm getting for the future energies is that someone is going to be able to see why something that they wanted to happen with one particular person did not happen the way they wanted it to. As if universe, God, whatever you believe in really, pushed one relationship away from you or a couple of relationships away from you because it wasn't something that would have been beneficial for you as a soul lesson. We learn throughout every interaction, but some of those we choose that are not really necessary to us, and it feels like instead of wasting time, I'm gonna clean the slate for you. Does that make sense? Instead of wasting time, I'm going to leave. I'm going to make sure that there is separation early on into communication with someone else, so that you can be open to someone that you're really supposed to cross paths with. So someone may have encountered a very weird situation where something felt like it was cut off. A relationship was cut off. A very weird situation happened because the slate had to be clean. In order for someone to go then, okay, so this is not working out. It didn't work out. It was very weird the way it happened. Let me actually go and put myself out there to see what's out there in the world. So pile number 2 is being encouraged to keep your eyes open and be open communicating with new people. I feel like more and more of them will be coming into your life, but you are the one who is taking charge of that. It's not about sitting on the couch and scrolling social media and asking a question, when will a relationship come into my life? You are the one who's taking charge of that and who's putting yourself out there. Anything else? Pile number 2. Ex-ambassadors hold you down. This is a beautiful ending to this reading, because whoever you're encountering, once you put yourself out there and you meet new people, this person is a keeper. This song by Ex-Ambassadors, Hold You Down, the vocalist written this song for his brother, who is a pianist in the band, who is blind. So every time they go up to the stage, the brother, the vocalist, holds down his blind brother to get him to his station where he needs to be. And this is such a committed song. It has so much love, so much commitment, and as if it says, I have your back at all times. So that's something that you're encountering in the future relationships, or something that you're already looking for, or maybe you've met this person already. Someone who has your back, someone that you feel safe and secure with. If something happens, you know that you are not alone. They will pick you up if you need to be picked up, not that you are weak. Someone sees your strength, but at the same time, they see when you need help. So that's what you might expect happening in the future. Keep your eyes open, put yourself out there, and let me know if you already did, and I'm going to catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Hello, group number 3. Now, before we start, I think I mentioned that in the intro, but I know people tend to skip intros. Some of these messages that I'm going to be relaying here to you might be talking about someone's past, might be talking about someone's present moment, or something that they feel like they might encounter in the future. I'm approaching this reading very open-mindedly. My aim here is to look at what needs to be talked about. There is a reason that something is going to come up. Let's get to it. Let's see what we got. We have careless, trick me. Might trick me once, won't let you trick me twice. Now we're talking with a group of people here who have probably faced someone who was either cheating, someone who was lying to them multiple times, or maybe even someone who was manipulative, because there is a bit of that gaslighting happening here where someone is trying to trick the other person. There is a feeling of dishonesty here, lies, and someone is trying to hide what they are doing. So you probably have encountered this in your life already, and you're trying to choose a new path when it comes to the people in your future. Someone who's watching this, who has a feeling about the person that you are seeing or you just met, that there is something off. I don't have factual information, but my body, my intuition tells me there is something off. You're right, there is something off. There might be something that they are not telling you, or your body is telling you, be careful with this individual and be observant, but don't be paranoid. Let's get more cards and let's see what we have here. We have you did the right thing. This is just a confirmation for someone out there if they were uncertain. We have MB14 pyramids. This is a very deep vibe that we have here. Let me get comfortable. MB14 pyramids. He says, but I'm curious about what's coming after my last breath. Pyramids, temples, statues, and candles. This is going to be a deep reading, so definitely be discerning if this is for you or if it's not. I'm going to be pretty straightforward here. What I'm being shown a generational pattern of some sort, ancestral pattern that is happening from one generation to the other. And it's something to do with, again, a failed relationship due to, or very hard, even maybe abusive relationship due to someone's lies or due to someone's behavior. And what your cards are saying here, you can do ancestral healing and you can be the one who changes the route of how the future of the relationships will be for you, for your children, for your children's children. Okay? This is we're being shown a pattern. Pay attention to what has happened in the past. Ask your mother, ask your grandmother about the information that you might not be familiar with. How was X's relationship back then? Is there something that you observed? I'm seeing someone putting a puzzle together, and there is some sort of generational ancestral resolution happening here. But one of these things that might seem very tragic or very difficult to deal with or to look at, it feels like someone has signed a contract pre-incarnation to change the outcome, to change the way things are going. So someone is facing the pain of the generations past because someone before that or people before that didn't have guts to face it or didn't have enough strength to change the outcomes by choosing different people or by getting out of a situation that they're not supposed to be in. We have Aaron Jones, Take Me Away. The day my effing mom abandoned me was the day I learned to lie. See? Before she walked away and cried. If you want to give it a listen, this is a really cool song. I love it. So that's exactly what I was talking about. Someone might be dealing with really deep-rooted abandonment issues here. Maybe this is the pattern that I mentioned. It doesn't have to be only lying and cheating. No one could keep a family together. Maybe it was one of those things. And that's when this little boy, when he was abandoned, that's the day when he learned to lie. So there is something to be looked at the past and to be resolved or to be aware of, so that we're not repeating the same thing in the future. There's also an apology coming through from someone who has passed away. If this is for you, you'll know that it's for you. They're apologizing for something that they've done or something that they didn't have a chance to do, and now they know better. For the way that someone has treated the other, for the way that someone had to live. A message in music, yeah. So now what you can expect, I'm talking to those who resonate with a message from the deceased person. Listen to music. They will tell you more. If you want to listen to one of these songs, you can just play it in the background and see which sentence sticks out to you the most, or you're going to encounter musical message in the next couple of days from someone. it's gonna be at the right time, and it's gonna be literally around the time when you're thinking of a question or you're thinking about an issue and you get an answer in the music. We also have Leon L's River Full of Liquor. There is a situation here, what we're being shown that someone, again, I cannot stress this enough, is changing the outcome of where the generations to come are heading. Either you probably have experienced a lot of alcoholics in your family line, a lot of cheaters, liars, or abusive people. And what we're doing here, we are starting with a self and we are changing completely the outcome. Lionel's River Full of Liquor. He says, my life has been going 1 girl, 2 girl, 3 girl, 4. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing no more. And this is a song of disassociation and escapism. If you want to, again, give it a listen. It's quite a beautiful video too. It's very kind of dark and mysterious. We're looking at a situation where someone is trying to find a way out of a cycle. And I feel like if you started looking at this already, you are finding a resolution and you are ending a cycle of this. It's not going to be easy. It's going to require reprogramming the self. Maybe you are going to be picking up Dr. Joe Dispenza's book and applying his advice to your life. Maybe you're going to be doing a hypnosis session, again reprogramming your mind, looking at situations a little bit differently. There is something that requires hardcore work, especially when it comes to habits or perceptions that we are changing, that changes the outcomes big time. And we are ending a very big karmic cycle here. Okay, once that is done, what can you experience in the future when it comes to your relationships? What can you experience in the future when it comes to your relationships? Leon asked, protocol. You're breaking a protocol. When you show me your soul, but I don't want to know, that's not the protocol. What is happening here? Someone is breaking some sort of habit, and we're seeing the whole protocol changing in the future, especially when it comes to shallow connections or connections that do not sustain or do not uplift someone's soul. Very, very shallow connections. What can you expect happening in the future? You're much more focused on your sense of security and safety. It doesn't have to be only your work and your hobby. You're focusing on building yourself up in order for you to feel more emotionally safe and secure within yourself, because you didn't have that in the past. Or what you were shown when you were growing up. You were not shown an emotionally secure relationship where someone is being taken care of, when someone's feelings are being listened to. So what's important moving forward is focusing on that and giving that to yourself, so that you have a solid ground to start a new relationship with someone who also feels safe and secure within themselves. Someone who's not coming from trauma and not dumping their trauma, their anger, their hatred, their bad habits onto you. Anything else that we need to know? Pile number 3. John Vinyl, work. On top of work. All this working got me crazy, but I'm still patient. Oh God, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, this is a reference to the inner work. Work on the self. Again, reprogramming that someone is doing in the future. It is going to make big changes in someone's life. You may need to have patience, but yes, you're going to make it. So be free to listen to any of these songs that draw your attention. As usual, if you need more content, you can find me on Patreon, and have a beautiful week. Until the next time.